Good afternoon, my name is Catalina Sanabria and today I'm going to talk about press freedom in Cuba. So this is my outline. First I'm going to point out my research question, then I'm going to give a brief context, and then I'm going to focus on my main topic here, which is press freedom. So my research question is, over the past few years, how has the communist administration of Cuba affected press freedom, especially the independent journalism or the one which opposes to the government's ideology? So first, a context. In 1959, the Cuban Revolution happened. It was led by Fidel Castro and it toppled down Batista's dictatorship. The power remained in the Castro family for over 50 years, but finally, in 2018, Miguel Díaz-Canel became the elected president of Cuba. In 2019, through a referendum, the constitution was changed, so it eliminated the main goal of achieving a socialist society, but it kept the Communist Party as the superior leading force of society and the state. Now we are going to move on to press freedom. So, media and control. The article number 53 of this constitution establishes that, it is prohibited to have the private ownership of media outlets, and it allows a free speech as long as it doesn't criticize the government and it looks forward to accomplish the objectives of a communist society. According to the Freedom House, Cuba has the most repressive media environment in the Americas, and almost all traditional media are state-run. Such are the cases of Granma, which is a newspaper which belongs to the Communist Party, and Juventud Rebelde, which belongs to the Union of Young Communists. Also, Cuba restricts the access to outside information. They do that through the limitation of internet and the high cost of it. And finally, the independent news websites are blocked, almost most of it. So for that reason, the population has developed this new dynamic which is called the package. It consists in passing from user to user a USB stick which contains updated information, and that is how they get informed, how the people get informed. Now, in regards to journalists, they are constantly in risk of harassment, intimidation, and detention from the government. In the case of independent journalists, they are technically illegal, but they are tolerated by the state as long as they don't go against Cuba's politics. And such is the case. I put in here two examples. This is Roberto de Jesus Quiñones, who was remained captive in 2018 for over 50 hours. And this is the case of Iris Mariño Garcia, who is a woman who was criminally charged because of developing journalism without previous authorization or consent from the state. Now, in terms of repression, in 2017, this situation seemed to be getting better. However, the number of activists and opponents and journalists who were detained decreased, and such was the case in 2018. But in 2019, the censorship and the limitation of press freedom faced its highest levels, according to the SIP, which is the Sociedad Interamericana de Prensa. One of the main reasons for this issue is that the Law 88, or the commonly known as Ley Mordaza, was once again implemented in Cuba as a response to the law Helms-Burton. This final law, the Helms-Burton law, is the embargo that the USA has over Cuba. So the Ley Mordaza aims to punish with jail all of these people who follows Helms-Burton law or this initiative from the USA, because it supposedly threatens the socialist state and the economy. So basically, the ley Mordaza criminalizes freedom of expression and journalism, independent journalism. It represses it. So here are my conclusions. I found that over the years, detention has become a way to prevent unworthy journalists, but however, have emerged some new techniques of repression, such as the revocation of licenses, the confiscation of material, and the prohibition to travel, etc. Also, there has arisen some new techniques, virtual aggressions, like bullying, trolling, hacking, or supplanting identities. For all that has been exposed during this presentation, Cuba has been told to be the worst country in America with a freedom press, and the situation does not seem to be getting any better. Thank you.